My sister loaned me her camera for however long I want to use it. So, thank you for that. I tolerate you. I hooked it up to my tripod, so now that works. Because it's an actual camera and not a smartphone. But, we're getting back on track from where we left off. We're going to do a review on Tops Tahoma Field Knife. It's been a while, and it's a little bit past the date. I don't even know what today's date is, but I know it's past the 5th. So, let's do some specs on the knife, and then we can start doing the testing. Alright, Tops Tahoma Field Knife. I did go over the specs in the first impressions video, or the unboxing, whatever you want to call it, but I'm going to do them again just because it's been so long. Tahoma Field Knife, or the TFK, it has an overall length of 14 inches, has a blade length of a little over 8 inches, the cutting edge of 7 1/4, because it has the choil right here, so it cuts off with the length. The blade thickness is 3/16. It has 1095 high carbon steel. The Rockwell hardness is around 56 to 58. Has a flat grind, not a full one, just a half flat. Has a spear point design. The handle length is 5 1/4. It has micarta handles, and it weighs 1 pound and 1.80 ounces, somewhere around there. I didn't find anything for how much or for how long the back blade length is, but I do have a ruler with me, so I'll do that real quick. The blade length on the back is around, looking for my inches, it's about 3 inches. So that's that. I've had some time to use this knife. You can totally tell because the micarta is starting to misshape or discolor. I don't know if you can see that, but after using it, kind of wears down and it changes from its color. The polish, it held up pretty good, but I've been using this thing I've been really abusing this knife. So you can see not only from sharpening, but just from using it, especially on the tip, on both sides, the paint's starting to wear down. And this is a black river wash, I think this is what it's called. And what it does is it shows the temper. I don't know if you can see that anymore, but the blacker parts, the darker on here, is where they temper it on the steel, which I think is a really nice addition. Some things to note about this knife: it has a really huge choil, as well as a glass breaker and a pot bail. It has this secondary lanyard hole above or under the jimping for prying bullets out, or just for using as a lanyard hole. It has bow drill divots on both sides, so if you're left or right-handed, it'll work. The pommel is shaped like a chisel, or in Andy Tran's case, Andy Tran, the designer of this knife, he is a professional photographer, and he uses this as a flathead screwdriver. So, I think that's pretty cool. It's a very well put together knife. I really like it. A lot of times when I get knives, I try to get them with a straight handle, because if you get them with curved, it kind of feels differently. But in this knife, in this case, I could choke up all the way back here right on the curve, and it doesn't feel that bad. You know, I squeeze this knife, and I don't feel any hot spots. The jimping's not too aggressive, and this thing can take a really, really good edge. So, let's start to baton. Oh, one more thing. I have the sheath right here. This is the nylon sheath that everybody hates. I just put some paracord on it. In here, I have some safety pins, a lighter, and just a cheap little knife that I keep with it. Oops. So, you know, it's not a survival kit. There's no ferro rod. I'm gonna get some more ferro rods soon. But that's the sheath. I'm not gonna go over it because everybody hates it. Molly compatible. You can see that. So, yeah, that's the sheath. We're gonna baton this big daddy. Like to find my baton stick. Oh, there it is. It's best to note that when you're batoning, you want to stay away from this edge so that you don't dull it from smacking on it. I do know that if you go on Top's website, you can order this without the sharpened edge, so that isn't a big deal if you get it like that. That was no problem. Oh, another thing. I've seen a lot of people review this knife, and everybody says that if you hit it on this spot where the notches are, that it's going to break in half because they've had the same problem with the buck hoodlum. I've never owned a buck hoodlum because that costs more than this knife. But people also say it's because of the heat treatment they did for the hoodlum. They only did it on the edge, not the whole knife. So, I don't know. I just know that it's not going to break because this thing is thicker than the buck hoodlum, and it's a lot tougher. The heat treatment's way better, and all that. So, smacking on that real good, and it's not breaking. Let's go see if we can get through that knot right there. See that knot? We're going to go through that. No problem with the Tahoma. This knife's a tank. I know that I paid $164, or no, that's how much it was on Amazon. I paid $150 on Blade HQ. If you go on Andy's website or Top's website, it's going to be like $240 or something like that. So, This wood's pretty wet, but we're going to try to feather stick with it. So as you can see, it makes feathers really nice. Really long ones. Not very wavy, not as wavy as I want them to be, but they make feathers. So yeah. And since these are wet, I'm not sure how well they're going to light. Actually, no, those are really wet. Let me get a better piece of wood. Alright, let's try that again. Another thing I see people do is they stick it in a piece of wood and they use it like this. Which I do that pretty often. I kind of like the way that is because you have more control over the wood. I think I mentioned this in a different video. I don't remember. Either way, you're going to get educated once more. Get learned. Alright. These pieces are kind of thick, but no doubt they'll burn. They should be able to burn with the flint and steel if I had it. Or not the flint and steel, the ferro rod, sorry. But I don't. Yeah, it's been raining a lot. You guys get the idea. Oh well. So, that was the video for today. I'm sorry I wasn't up to whatever what I thought it was going to be. Wasn't as spectacular, but I haven't had much time to plan, even though I haven't had a camera for a few weeks. So I'm sorry. Hope you guys liked this video. If you did, please like it, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. There's not much else to say. Bye.